So I always looked at Julio as well as you, Diana, as my big brother and big sister. You know, when y'all came through when I was in Sing Sing, and that, you know, that's what helped me to build this platform now that I'm building, because, you know, when y'all came through, it was like, this is what I want to do. I want to give back to the community. That's all I seen. I remember you was like a case manager for my son, you know, through Osborne, and you know, that's how we met. And Julio, he was my professor, you know, in the class. Professor Julio Molina, yes, you know, and he actually I think set this bar for where I'm at in life, you know, coming home August 10th, 2020. You know, and I'm currently living in Albany, New York, but I make my way down here because this is the catalyst right here. You know, everything revolves around Exodus, and we all here. It's like we all home. He had this home waiting for us. So, you know, he's been home longer than most of us out here, and so this home has been waiting. And I've been waiting for this opportunity, and this opportunity is here for us. You know, and I see it, you know, definitely going, you know, somewhere really big.
And let me say something real quickly, bro, because, you know, yes, I was able to go into the class and teach, but I think one of the things that stood out was the passion that you had and the remorse that you shared, that sincere remorse that you shared, brother. That sticks out for me. I'm getting chills talking about it because I saw you cry in class. You know, I saw how hurt you was when you committed this crime. And I wish people could really see what authentic transformation and rehabilitation looks like, because you embody that, bro. I was there when there was no cameras and there was no podcast and there was none of this. And you was crying in class, brother. You know? So that's critical, man. I think it's important that the world know that, man, that you really understood the victim. You lived it every day. You know, you were hurt every day by it. And I think, you know, it just says so much about your character. So thank you.
You're going to make me cry now, man. Because I'm an emotional person, and I appreciate that, you know, from the bottom of my heart. You know, like, you know, this is what I lived for. You know, and you told me this before, you know, and I felt this, you know, and I felt it. And I say this with all humility, that I'm blessed, you know, for being able to wake up faster than other brothers. You know, some brothers it took 10, 15 years to wake up, but, you know, I woke up, I got it early in that 27 years and 6 months. And I'm just honored to hear that from you, you know, and for someone to see my genuineness. Because, you know, this is what I live for. I did wrong from 14 years old to 20 years old, all negative. So now I know nothing but positivity. I don't want nothing else in my life. And you inspired that in me, and I appreciate you. And Diana as well.
And that is amazing. You know, I know Eric since I was a kid. We grew up together. And when he came home and he called me, and just speaking to him over the phone, like we used to talk every weekend. For about 2 hours every weekend, and just hearing them. And if you knew him then, right, and like probably before another episode, but if you knew him then and you hear him now, and like you said, that emotion, right, behind this crime. You got a lot of people that commit crime that can justify that means of committing that crime, right? I think the key thing is accountability and responsibility. And I think that once you accept that, it sets you free, right? And that's what I think it takes for a person to reach the optimal level of success in their own right, no matter what it may be, but to set yourself free. Because I believe that as long as that you keep making an excuse for the crimes that you commit, you're never going to get past that, right? He accepted that fact. I got to accept the fact that, you know, my crimes I did, not because I was a product of my environment. I made my environment the product that it became by putting the drugs out there, right? So now it's to change the dynamics of what we was taught and what we're going to teach, right? And it's amazing the impact that you have and that you God, the work that you're doing. And I'm looking up here that the 259J, right, the discharge of sentence, how amazing that is. You know, like this thing here is like really mind blowing. I don't think a person can really capture what that means for a person to go and serve some time and sit there in front of a judge, and the judge say, well, I'm sentencing you to 15 to life, or 10 to life, or 18 to life, right? They hear that life and they think it's shut down. Brain is shut down. I'm never getting out. I'm never going to get out that rut. But to have the opportunity to come out of the system and to do something positive and to apply to get a discharge from that life sentence of becoming a slave into the system that'll keep you captivated and keep you in the recidivism rate for the littlest thing that's possible. That's amazing. And I thank you on behalf of all the brothers and sisters out there that are serving, you know, life sentence behind their regular sentence when they come home, because now they have a shot to actually cut that chain and move forward.
So it was nice to be able to change how people saw us. Like, this is how we look, this is how we act after. You know, we're not that one worst moment, we're not that time. Yeah, I was 18, I committed this crime, but now here I am. Like, why should I be chained to something for the rest of my life?
I remember we did mock paroles, and you had an ex-parole commissioner there. And I would just like for you to just speak about that, just share that experience with us, because I was in the inside looking, you know, I was from the inside looking out, and you know, to be out here now and to actually, you know, remember that and experience that all over again in my mind, it was really impactful with just my transition and coming home and, you know, and doing, you know, getting involved with this and with the criminal justice system. So I would like for you to just speak about that experience with being with an ex-parole commissioner and doing mock paroles in a prison with this person. And how was that for you? Like,
Well, the good thing about that was he released me. So it made it a little easier. It was the first time I met him, and after the first 4 boards, he was on the 5th one. I thought it was to just nail, you know, that last nail on the coffin. Like, if you have the chairman at your parole hearing, this is to say you're never coming home. You know, so even when I saw him there, I'm gonna cry. It was scary.
It's okay.
You know, you've gone through 4 boards, and now you see the chairman with 2 other commissioners, and I'm like, wow, I'm never coming home. So, and then, you know, even through that process, I went in 3 times, and so they called me in. I had my hearing. Go back, you sit and you wait. They call me back in, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good. I go back, and then they call me back in, and then he's the person who said, Miss Ortiz, we're not going to call you back in. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. But I was released. And so knowing that he was that person that wanted to make sure that I was made it easier. Because he may have seen something in me and maybe other people that he can look beyond our crimes. You can be the person who can say and validate, and he did. He validated this bill that we were able to pass. And so being able to go and kind of see a changed man, a man who says, you know what, I should have seen this a long time ago, but there for the grace of God, right? Like, this could have been me, or could have been somebody that I know. And so it was easy to get Bob, who passed away last year, right? To kind of now do this new mission. Now you don't have to like hold us and condemn us, and so it was easy to be able to have Bob be part of this process. He is the one who helped us with the bill. So he just wanted to be in everything. Anything that can change lives, he wanted to be a part of. He wanted to leave this world, and we didn't know he was going to leave it so soon, but he did want to leave it knowing that he did good stuff, that he wasn't just a parole commissioner.
And Diana, you had that impact on Bob Dennison, because you know, his history, you know, not that there's anything wrong with Republican, staunch, conservatives, you go in front of him, you're getting hit with 2 years. You know, his record was, you know, he ran that board. And Diana, you know, I don't want you to downplay that. Not only did he go in there 3 times and then freed you, but then how you helped shape his future.
Powerful.
I think that's something that, you know, you helped shape. He was at every space because of Diana and the impact you had on him and how he began to transform his own thinking around, wow, these are good people. And so I just want to applaud you, you know, and what you've been able to create, because, you know, after that, as you see, the commissioners are now, you know, they're listening.
Yeah.
They're listening.
Here's the ironic thing is, right? We always hear this all the time in prison, right? Prison has the most creative and smartest people, right? But when you're sitting on the outside and you have to judge a person whether to be released or not, you don't see that, right? And I remember, and I don't know if they still do it, you know, when you go see the parole board, they wouldn't tell you right away. You have to wait for that letter to come. And we used to know if you were getting released or not by the thickness of the envelope. We had to think when you knew you were getting hit. So when the CO walked down the gallery with that envelope, hey, you got your head, and people just be with their mirror looking down, like, man, I should think, my God, what is it, 24-12? You know what I mean? Like, I remember my last release. You know, unfortunately for me, I maxed out. I didn't see all. I maxed out. You know, and I kept getting handed at the border, but by all rights, I deserved it because I went in there a knucklehead, and I stood in there a knucklehead the whole time. You know, and it wasn't until these last 5 years that I did now, 4.5 years ago, that actually really buckled me down.